and we're going to be streaming on Twitch. So we should have in the little bar below me the Twitch chat if we have anyone jumping into the and watching the stream live and participating. We should be able to see that chat on the screen. But in the meantime, hello everybody, and welcome back to Update 1 of our 2019 Oscar Movie Marathon. I'm Christiana Ellis.
I'm Mike Mateen.
Tonight, we are updating our progress so far on the 2019 Oscar Marathon, our attempt to see as many of the nominated films as we can, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's good already. I have been very happy with some of the movies that I've seen since we've started this marathon. I think that there were a couple that are maybe not necessarily as good, but some that are really good. So it's overall positive, I think.
Well, sit down, bud.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I feel good about my progress. I haven't made as much progress between our last conversation as this one as maybe I would have liked, but it was just a big event weekend last weekend and had a lot of friends in town and didn't want to subject them to my movie marathon, so we did other things.
Yep, no, I get that.
But I did make progress, and I have made progress. I made progress since the announcement, and like you said, I think we've seen some things that were very good, and I'm glad that I took the time to see, and maybe just would always kind of sat there on the back burner.
Right.
And there are some things that I made an effort to see that I am okay. I mean, that was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone is unfamiliar with our marathon, last time in the introduction to this year, we broke down the nominees of the 2019 Oscars, and we briefly went over which ones we had or hadn't seen at that time, but didn't really go into actual in-depth discussion. And so our plan with this show tonight is to talk about the movies that we've seen so far, and we have a basic structure where if only one of us has seen the movie, we'll do a brief, high-level, no spoilers discussion, just maybe 2 paragraphs worth of what we think of that movie. But for the movies that we've both seen, we'll get into detail, and those discussions may include spoilers. So just for simplicity's sake, perhaps we should cover the ones that only one of us have seen first.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so it occurs to me that the format that I chose for what is visible on the screen here for the spreadsheet doesn't show which ones of us one of us have seen and the other hasn't. But what we do have is in this Best Picture category right here, we've both seen Black Panther, so we'll discuss that in detail later. I have seen BlacKkKlansman and Bohemian Rhapsody and Green Book. We've both seen Roma, and you have seen Vice, but I have not. So to give just the kind of high-level discussion or the capsule review, so to speak, I'll go ahead and start with BlacKkKlansman, which I'll say is very good. I liked it. It's actually, Spike Lee has definitely made some great movies, no question, but I wouldn't say that I enjoy all of his movies equally. This was one of the ones that I really, really like, and I think it's dramatic, it's really funny, it's very powerful. It's cool that it's based on a real life story, even though there's parts of it that are a bit fabricated, is my understanding. But it is just really well presented. It attacks some, real issues head on, and then without spoiling what it is, there's kind of a sucker punch of an ending that really was very powerful to me. So I won't say any more about it other than just to say it's really good. I really liked it. It's definitely one that people should check out.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I enjoyed Vice so much that I probably ended up giving my capsule review last time, even though we were just discussing like the nominations.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll kind of reiterate some of it. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It has a tone though where the movie's not for everyone. It is. I mean, it's almost like a dark comedy, and so depending on your view of that time frame and Dick Cheney himself, it can hit in weird places. Like if you are generally unsupportive of what they were doing, but can take the humor to laugh it off, then the movie will hit well. You know, if you were very supportive of what they were doing and you can kind of laugh at the fact that the humor is taking shots at it, you will enjoy it really well. If you are just a little more sensitive, or the dark humor isn't really your thing, and you fall on either one, like on either perspective, like either very supportive or very anti the sort of Bush Cheney era, this is not going to sit well with you. You know, because they do ding them a lot. And so if you were really supportive of that era and you don't get the jokes, they're going to just seem like a hit piece.
Yeah.
If you are generally antagonistic towards that era and the jokes are going to fall flat on you and you're not going to find it humorous to poke fun at what was going on during that time.
Right.
You know?
I know that the people that I've heard criticize it, most of the people that I'll say consume in social media tend to not be the type that would have been in favor of George W. Bush's policies. I'll just say that. And so, but there have been a few people that I've seen criticize the movie basically because they think it's trying to make a comedy out of something that is profoundly not funny.
Right. That is definitely one side of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And then the other side is that it's poking fun and making a hit piece out of something that they actually believed in what was going on. Mm-hmm. So you really have to have this odd sense of humor and be in the middle for the movie to work for you. And it worked for me. I thought there are some very, very clever things that it did. I thought some of the things that, you know, like there's some interesting juxtapositions in there, and that like Cheney isn't overplayed. You know, Christian Bale tries to play him pretty true to form. But the people around him are almost characterized to like tell this like odd story, you know, basically to make it funnier. And so like George Bush is like very overly characterized, which again sits weird with a lot of people. Like some people think like, oh, well, that's exactly how he was, such a doofus. And other people are like, I can't believe they portrayed our president like that. When it's really, it's not meant to say he was actually this much of a goofball. That's how they frame that part of the story, is that, you know, they overplayed him. Mm-hmm. Cheney seems even more like the one manipulating in charge, which is what the story they're trying to tell.
Right.
So again, you have to kind of see it from a different perspective. But I thought for me, it hit all the right notes. And I thought it was good. I thought it was informative. It taught me a lot of things. Again, like, you know, the time period that we all grew up in, like the ages that you and I are, Cheney for us was the CEO of Halliburton, who became the vice president and was part of this Bush-Cheney era. But there was he had a whole slew of politics well before he went into Halliburton that maybe I ostensibly knew happened, but didn't really know how he got into it, why he was doing it, what his beliefs were, how he got there. And the movie actually tells a lot of that. And again, I think it shades in one way or the other.
It's obvious that you're very passionate about this movie, but I think yeah. I also am just going to briefly apologize that unfortunately when I started the stream, it still thinks that I'm playing the game that I was playing the last time I streamed. And yeah, you know what? I'm worried that people are going to join the stream thinking that it's that game and then be disappointed. So I think I'm actually going to briefly stop the stream, make sure that's undone, and we'll restart if So
You have to restart from the beginning, or
well, yes. What we can acknowledge what happened, and I can fix it later. But for the video version, we'll just do like rapid fire recap of what we just said.
that's probably better for me.
Yeah. Okay. So let me. Yeah. So the podcast version, I'll be able to pull the audio from what you were just saying, and that's what I'll do. Okay.